Hey there, welcome to First Glance with Jody Vance. This is a really exciting opportunity here that I'm going to introduce you to. We love to, at First Glance and at Equity Guru, to marry the investor with the perfect fit company that's about to bust out big or see some long-term growth. You know what I'm saying? We like to give you sort of that ground floor open door, if you will, not just for those in expensive suits with pocket squares, but every investor. And I'm particularly excited about this one because, you know, most of you know my history as a sports broadcaster. I love to talk sports, and more as a mother of a 13-and-a-half-year-old, I'll have you know, we're talking esport. Esport is going to become an Olympic sport. People, wrap your head around that. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. And somebody who's got his finger on the pulse of just what goes into creating, making, and maintaining esport is our next guest in Laurent Benezra, who is the CEO of Intema Solutions, Inc. The stock symbol is ITM. Laurent, thanks for doing this.
My pleasure, Jody. Thank you so much for having me.
Give us a little bit of a 411. If somebody says, what's Intema exactly?
Intema is a esports and gaming company. We like to call ourselves a holding company of other platforms that are all an ecosystem for esports and gaming.
So infrastructure in order to create the many platforms that, I mean, limitless in terms of gaming. At least that's what I'm seeing with how my son entertains himself on multiple platforms, servers, and competitive edges and ways. Like he's playing with one specific other, or he's playing with an entire universe of others, how he competes, in what form it takes. This is a very complex infrastructure. So give us a little bit about a history, if you will, about esport when it comes to where it's been. I mean, I'm going to date myself here, but I used to take on in asteroids. I used to take down pretty solid in my Tetris days, if you will. I've pinballed the heck out of it. Well, when I'm talking about those arcade games, we're not talking about the multi-billion-dollar industry that is esport in 2021.
No, you're absolutely right. So esports have started since the beginning of gaming. When you had Coleco and Atari, Super Nintendo, and I can go on. What happened was that basically people like to compete, and the esports category lets you compete with no borders. You can you go online, you can compete with a person in China or a person in Japan, or or even right next door to you. So esports is a competitive video gaming, and it's evolved in such a way that the like you said, servers and the infrastructure itself has grown so much that you can actually have up to 64 players playing at the same time. So that's what we're dealing with these days, and with the new venues of Xbox and PlayStation 4, and specifically Fortnite and Modern Warfare. You got these kids, when I say kids, is anybody younger than me, and I'm 41, playing with their friends, but also playing competitively. So it's very, very interesting.
We saw that I'm in Vancouver, you're in Montreal. We saw that prior to COVID-19, that massive esport competition, it was a $52 million prize. It was happening at BC Place in downtown Vancouver. And I thought, I'm going to be the cool mom. I'm going to get some tickets for my son to this. First of all, the tickets were $400 for the cheap seats, and it was sold out. That shocked me.
But you know what? And it's funny because that's been happening in Asia for the past 6 years. Yeah. And it started, and I have to, COVID changed everything. So it started to really come to Canada and North America about 2 years ago. But then COVID hit, and then a new reality had to be done, right? So we're seeing all those tournaments, they will come back at some point, but right now they're going online. And the only way they can go online is with tournament platforms. And that's really where the key for us, and going back to Intema, the key for us is that the platform that lets you have tournaments is going to be the way of the future. Yeah. So the infrastructure that we're trying to build is, and we did so with HypeX, which is a peer-to-peer social gaming platform. right? And the peer-to-peer means that you and I, let's say we want to play Fortnite, we can hop into HypeX and we can build our own tournament and we can play against each other. And people can view it, stream it, talk about it, all in one platform. So it's really revolutionary.
Okay, that just gave me like a hit of adrenaline as a mom whose son is like, I'm gonna play Minecraft with my buddies on our Discord server with Twitch running in the back, looking off to the. So you're bringing all of those pieces together at Intema.
Absolutely. So HypeX is actually bringing that. They've done it. They use APIs, and it's why we call it a social gaming platform. So you can have your Discord server open and your Facebook and your Instagram while you're playing Fortnite with your buddies on a tournament that basically is a tournament that you built with your friends.
Yeah.
People have access to it, and you can wager. You can actually wager on a skill-based wagering platform.
Oh, this is what used to be the poker game with your buddies. Yes. But it is now, honestly, my mind's a little bit blown here. Let me just reiterate. Intema Solutions Inc. is the company's name. The stock symbol is ITM. We're with Laurent Benezra, who is the CEO, located out of Montreal. How did you get into this in the first place, Laurent? Can you give me a little bit of your history, your personal history?
Yeah, absolutely. So I started at Intema about 2 years ago. I took over when Intema was a little bit in trouble. It was an email marketing company that was rivalry. The rivalry and competition was MailChimp and Sendinblue and Constant Contact. So these behemoths that were really, really tough to fight against. So over the restructuring of the company that I did, we realized that we couldn't compete. We couldn't compete in email marketing. Though we have a really good engine, we just didn't have enough fuel in terms of marketing dollars, et cetera. Yeah. So we decided to pivot. We decided to pivot in December of this year. And the reason we decided to pivot into gaming is because most of my network and most of the people behind me and who've mentored me are from the gaming world and have built some giants in the gaming world. So we decided to use all that expertise, all that knowledge and networking, and we basically got into gaming. And we looked at the first property we looked at was HypeX, and it's from Montreal. Evan Ryer and his team are 26 years old. They're absolutely brilliant. They understand things that I don't, but I can explain because they made it so easy to use that, I can come here and tell you how easy it is to use HypeX.
That is so cool. I love the fact that you're also celebrating the youth who are really at the forefront of this, because you said you're 41, I'm 53. We have a way of, this is the way the world works. This is how things happen. And then you look to this next generation of users, of computer gaming, tech users, and the effortless sort of nature of their navigation of it. It's astounding to me as a parent and somebody who loves to game. Like when you said Nintendo 64, I'm like, yes, because everybody's got that in them. When you're taking a company that had a mission and then recognized that it didn't have enough to compete, to use your own words, and then pivot to something that's gaming. And now you're going, okay, what do we need to be swimming with the big boys and girls? Because this is a very crowded industry. I would be remiss without mentioning the fact that because of the success of those that were early into esport, it is explosive, but the user base is growing exponentially by the day, as is the ability to sort of cross-pollinate, as you said, being able to have this various platforms open, as well as be able to compete and even to some degree gamble at that level.
Oh, absolutely. It's funny because we mentioned the embrace of the youth, but which is what we're going towards specifically with esport, but we also need the experience of people like our generation.
No doubt.
That's why, just last week, about last week, we announced that we had new advisors to Intema, and those advisors were Jonathan Kovic, Jennifer Lazarus, and Lee Hughes. And the reason we need that type of expertise and knowledge is to help guide HypeX in their marketing efforts, in their real world navigation, because that's very, very important. We know that, there's the esports world, and then there's the real business world, and we need leaders and thought leaders to help us and bridge the gap between both types of worlds.
Right, to dovetail it together for sure. So to put it super simply, Laurent, can you tell me what should shareholders get excited about when it comes to ITM? Like if somebody's sitting here, loves gaming, is all in, thinks esports should be an Olympic sport, let's do it, let's train, let's be there, I want to be involved, and I want it on my investment portfolio. What should they be getting excited about for ITM right now?
Absolutely. We want to be esports. We want to encompass all of the platforms that we can, the support platforms also. So, be it advertising, be it compliance, be it having an esports team a part of the platforms themselves. And also we talked about wagering before, and we strongly believe that the future is in esports wagering, and that we can get to where we want to be in the space that we have right now, which is esports wagering, which is something that we're looking at and are very, very exciting.
So where does somebody find out more about you if they want to reach out, maybe find out more on investment opportunities and what it looks like? Do you have a website?
Absolutely. It's intema.ca. You have everything there that we're working on, all our team. You have our initiatives. And look, we're going to be growing, and we're going to be scaling pretty quickly. We believe that the future is now, and we're building that future.
Intema, I-N as in Nancy, T-E-M as in Mary A. Intema Solutions Inc. ITM is the stock symbol. Laurent, thank you for doing this, and please do keep us posted as you have more news to share with investors.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Have a great day.